Hi, I'm Robert Dutt from ChannelBuzz.ca, and I'm joined today in the ConnectWise studios by Mark Sokol, who heads up product marketing for ConnectWise.
Hi, thanks, Robert.
Mark, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, you bet.
I want to start with maybe a little bit of a level set around where you see the MSP market at in 2012. I mean, maybe let's just throw it open with your thoughts on sort of the state of the industry, as it were.
Well, you know, there's a lot of noise currently about mobile devices, right? And BYOD, and what are we going to do with that? And there's been a lot of announcements from a lot of vendors related to this over the last, obviously the last couple months. We see that only continuing, and from a ConnectWise perspective, making sure that the PSA platform can help our solution providers manage those devices as effectively and centralized as possible. It's only going to be more and more as each year goes by, but I think it opens up a lot of opportunities for our partners. You know, security, data security, and losing valuable company data, especially if you're within certain verticals. You know, in the U.S., it's HIPAA compliance, and obviously the legal field, and so we think that's going to be more and more, and it just opens up opportunities. So I think that's definitely, if any partners are not out there today, they should be looking into that. Definitely.
Is that sort of the new frontier for where there's mystery, there's margin at this point in time?
I think there is. I think, you know, there was always this, and there still is, right, noise about the cloud. Well, there was noise about the PC. There was noise about all these different things and taking away, right? We need that knowledge. We need somebody that can kind of bring all these components together and provide service. Small business owners specifically, they want to focus more so, and there's a lot of data and industry research these days to back that up. It's just a growing trend in Canada and in the U.S. that they want to get back to their core business. You know, it's been a tough couple of years. Yeah. And they want to, they're really definitely, there's that trend to look at outsourcing more of that's non-core business, so to speak. So it started with payroll years ago, outsourcing, and now it's moved to the IT space as well. So we look forward to a growing trend over the next couple of years.
How far off are we from it being like payroll, where it's just kind of assumed that that's going to be outsourced? I mean, certainly managed services are growing at a exponential rate, but I'm just curious if you see it reaching that point, especially in the SMB market.
I think it has. I've seen the trend. I've been around in the technology space, and I did actually work for a software payroll provider in the late 90s. Right. And the challenge was always that the CFO made a decision to either keep it in-house or keep it outside. So you're always going to have those individuals. And then in 2000, there was this software as a service, and what is that? Where's my data? Where is it located? Right? There are always going to be these individuals that have a certain perception of that. But I think and that's where the solution provider comes in, is educating those individuals that their data is safe and secure, you know, whether it's in the cloud or they have it locally stored. And I think, so beyond that, you know, the CFO, he's making a financial decision. So if you can get past that where, okay, you're going to be secure. I mean, shoot, managed service providers have that now as they're dealing with what, you have somebody outside my company touching my equipment, touching my data. You know, there is always that. I think we've been dealing with that for years. I think it's just shifted a little bit more so in the direction to allow the outsourcing to happen.
You mentioned cloud a little bit earlier, and I think as much as that's been a customer concern and issue they're trying to get their heads around, it's the same true of the VAR and MSP channel. A couple years ago, I think the conversation kind of centered around trying to understand, you know, if this was going to be the great disintermediator. I think maybe we're moving beyond that conversation. But I'm curious, as you're talking to VARs and MSPs who are either using ConnectWise or who are prospects, what's their attitude towards the cloud? How is that shifting, and what are they doing to prepare themselves?
Well, I think I spoke to it a little bit earlier in that the shift is less fearing the cloud, but more embracing it as another opportunity to educate their existing clients and find new prospects. You know, everybody put up they're a cloud provider today now on their websites. I think that was the first thing they did. Now the next thing is going to be this mobile device management, right? So what we've heard is that there's less fear of the cloud and moving away and kind of having that end user go directly to these providers. But they really truly are, it's not their business. A small business owner is not in business to maintain and figure out all these different applications and the different providers, right? They're looking for someone that can come in as an expert, as a business expert, right? And as a, whether it's a mentor, if you want to call it, but it's somebody that's really providing that technical knowledge, but from a business point of view, to help kind of pull these applications together. I think the demand will only increase. Now again, it evolved, yeah. There's less equipment you have to maintain, and there's less certain things, right? But I think it's just an evolution, natural evolution.
Shifting gears back to mobility for a second. In the desktop and even the server world, it's been, I'm not going to say it's easy, because it certainly has never been easy, but at least there's been a limited number of platforms which have to be supported. A little bit more fragmented, a little bit more balkanized in the mobile world. Can you speak to your experiences in supporting mobile and how you're helping your partners deal with this multi-mobile OS environment and trying to manage devices that are running a variety of platforms?
Yeah, so we have standardized as far as ConnectWise, the product, to iPhone and Android devices. Well, we have kind of made that standardization. I think if you look at the numbers, the majority of devices today run on those platforms. Matter of fact, we were just looking at some information collected from our website. Individuals coming to our website, and for example, Windows 7 didn't even show up. Windows Mobile did not show up. But iPhone, iPad, and Android were the top 3 that came to our site. Now, this is within our community, right? So these are the IT providers that are doing that. But I know there's that perception of the anti-Apple within the community as well. But they're using it as well. They may not appreciate Apple and how they work with the channel, but they're definitely using it. So we see that how we help manage it, though, is we work really, we rely on our RMM integration partners to really help manage those devices and bring those assets in the form of maybe inventory, so to speak, within ConnectWise, so that they can maintain that and keep the configurations and the information. So it's those integration points that we use and we leverage to help our our providers and our partners go ahead and manage those devices.
All right. Appreciate your taking the time. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.